Let's take you to Burkina Faso, where the dust is gradually settling after the nation's second coup of the year. The takeover by military forces saw a young officer, Ibrahim Traoré, installed as the interim president of the landlocked West African country. What might the future hold for Captain Traoré and the nation, which he, at least for the time being, is now the leader of?
The new wave of coup in the West African sub-region is troubling. On September 30 this year, in what has become a familiar spectacle, a group of disgruntled soldiers, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, staged a coup that toppled Burkina Faso's transitional military leader, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Damiba. The 34-year-old Traoré said the group of officers had decided to remove Damiba due to his inability to deal with an armed uprising in the country that has worsened in the past 9 months. Colonel Damiba himself was a coup leader who overthrew the civilian government early this year. The coup in Burkina Faso also saw young people waving Russian flags on the streets of the capital, Ouagadougou. Although fairly small in number, it has prompted speculations that there may have been some Russian involvement in the event that saw Captain Ibrahim Traoré seize power in the nation beset by growing jihadist violence. The successive coups highlight divisions in Burkina Faso's security apparatus, and this has further complicated the transition to constitutional rule. The way out remains the restoration of a legitimate democratic government with an enhanced capacity for sound economic management to attract greater international support and assistance. And while the new leader has promised to respect all existing international obligations, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is yet to understand or get reconciled to the new situation, yet alone announcing sanctions or an engagement roadmap.
Now, senior researcher, Institute for Security Studies, Fahiraman Rodriguez Kone, joins me from Bamako to discuss Burkina Faso, a nation which has experienced 2 coups in 8 months. Well, just in 9 months precisely, there have been not less than 2 coups, and this has affected the ranks in the Burkina Faso security apparatus. How urgently do you think the divisions in the army and security forces be resolved?
If we consider the worrying security situation in the country, I would say this is very short in short term, because the country has become, since the beginning of the year, the epicenter of the terrorist attack in the Sahel, and the attacks against civilian and state representative are going on daily basis. We can also say that 10 out of the 13 regions of the country experience this attack, while 2 Burkinabes out of 10 are displaced people. So it's very important that there should be a response, an immediate, I can say, response, if really the country wants to fight against this insecurity.
Mm. Well, the country is also grappling with rising violent extremism, compounding insecurity in the region. How dangerous is this for the stability of Burkina Faso?
Yes, of course. As I have said, the security situation is really worrying. And recently, we have seen that attacks are really coming closing to the capital. And also, the security trends are showing that there is a kind of spillover of the insecurity from Burkina Faso in coastal state, in Côte d'Ivoire, in North Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, North Benin, and also Togo. So it means that the situation is really worrying, and there is a threat of Burkina State on Burkina State.
Well, the government's National Security Forum called for comprehensive security sector reform sometime in 2017. But how far have successive regimes gone in introducing relevant policies in this regard?
And I can say, in one word, there was not enough political will to push this reform of the security sector and specifically the army. We must know that army was at the heart of Blaise Compaoré regime strategy of keeping the power and defending the country. When there was this insurrection in 2014 and the ousted of Burkina Faso Compaoré regime, there was this need to reform the thing. But his successor, Roch Kaboré, has not taken enough action to reform. Even there was a recommendation from this security forum. And also Damiba has not taken urgent measure to solve the problem inside the army. So there was still bad governance inside the army and recurring tension between unities.
Quite a very dangerous situation. But the international communities are not expected to stay on the sidelines to watch things degenerate. How forthcoming has the economic community of West African states, United Nations, and European Union been?
I think the international community should really follow, I can say, take enough distance of how to solve this, to deal with this situation. Previously, we have seen international intervention requesting a comeback to the conditional order in a very short time. Now we have to know that the problem is really profound. It's a very profound problem, and there is the need to make reform, but deep reform. So at the same time, if, for example, ECOWAS needs a rapid feedback to the constitutional order, ECOWAS must also take account about the deteriorating security situation and help the Burkinabe authorities to fix, I can say, the security sector reform and help also the security apparatus to be at the level to fight this insecurity.
Right, Senior Researcher, Institute for Security Studies, Bahiraman Rodrigue Kone, thank you so much for joining us from Bamako with those keenness of insights. Thank you.
Thank you.